Hi, good morning. So I have completed the section 8 of my bootcamp, web development bootcamp in Udemy. And this is a short lesson that's not really completely about coding, but it's more on creatives, more on design. It's a web design school, create a website that people love. So basically this course just provided us the guidelines or principles on how to design a website that people would really love. So there are considerations that were shared. The principles are about color theory, typography, UI design, and UX design. Color theory considers the color combination um, on how it affects your mood, on how it affects your overall feel. So as an example, I created a design at the end of the course, and where's that? It's about crystal design, which is, where is it? Hold on a sec. So it's a website about crystals, charms, and Reiki. It's more on spirituality. That's why I chose a color that suits it. It's purple, which represents something religious or spiritual, or something that touches your intuition, which in other religious or spiritual practices, it's related to the crown chakra or the third eye chakra. So the colors are more on about intuition. So the next part is typography. Typography is all about the text. So in my website design, I considered having a touch of creativity, not so formal, but still readable. So of course, we will consider the sans serif and the serif. And what you can see is I used serif so that it will instill modern, a little bit authoritative, but still friendly approach. Okay, the next one is the UI design. UI design is considering how a brain works. So designing your website based on how your brain functions. So there are some considerations, again, for this. It's all about color, the layout, the alignment, the white space, and the audience. So I designed this site, again, for the color. I chose the bluish to the violet purple colors, and the layout, there are layouts that that was mentioned, the F layout, where how the eyes move, so it's more readable, it's more friendly to the brain on how the brain works, the eye works. There's also a layout that's Z pattern. So as you can see, from here to here, then at the middle, then I moved it to the right again. This is an F pattern. So as you can see, these UI design is very friendly and it's easy to navigate. It's not hard on the eyes. The alignment. So they mentioned that you should minimize the alignment. So if you can see, this heading is aligned with the subheading. This one is aligned here as a whole. This one is aligned here. There are no complicated alignments. So this one is aligned at the middle. The product's heading is aligned with this borders and the description. So it's not hard on the eyes and the brain. Everything is well aligned. Even the photos at the back is aligned very well. The next consideration is the white space. So the course mentioned that you should consider white space as it provides a little more elegance. So for this part, if you're selling, it will provide an illusion that it's more expensive and it's more clean and more organized. Instead of having a small space, you're more likely to buy it at a more expensive price than if you have a small spacing. So that's the other one. The last one is the audience. You should consider in your design your audience. So for this case, my audience is more on the spiritual part who would like charms, crystals, and healing. So as you can see, it's not fancy, but it has a touch of spirituality. The background has mandala. It has the Buddha hand with the evil eye for protection. And again, the color that I chose is more of having a spirituality practice, spiritual practice. So that's it for the user interface design. User experience has 5 considerations: simplicity, consistency, the patterns, the all platform design responsiveness, and has a touch of ethics, meaning don't use it for evil, meaning don't try to give your user an experience that will force you to do something that is not intended, that is not their intention. So one by one, simplicity. As much as possible, as a user, you want it to be intuitive and simple enough that you don't have to search or you don't have to learn how a website works. So there, it's not very cluttered and it's direct to the point. It's simple. There's not much movement that's very distracting. Number 2 is consistency with the design and functionality. With the design, as you can see, alternately, I have this slightly dark or colored part. For this, I have light. It's clean in the eye. It's not boring. And as you navigate, you can see how consistent the alignment, the colors, and the fonts. Read the pattern. So as I've mentioned, there's a pattern, F layout, and Z layout that you must consider. So in terms of user experience, it won't be difficult for you. It will be friendly to the eyes and the brain. Number 4, all platform design. I cannot really what do you call this? I cannot really demonstrate the responsiveness of this since this is not a website yet. This is just a design. But ideally, um, when you're designing the experience of a user, you must consider always the other platforms, especially mobile. So again, responsiveness of the design, meaning if I shrink this to a smaller part, the elements will move accordingly, and consider still um, the user's experience. So is it readable? Is it friendly to the eyes? More on that, considering all platforms for design, for mobile, for tablet, for websites. And lastly, it's all about ethics. So don't make the user do anything that's not intended. So it's very common at some websites that tricks you to do something like adding to cart or clicking on something that leads you to purchasing or maybe going to a website that's not really the intention of the user. Make it very friendly for the user so that the user would love your website. So that's it. I really enjoyed this part since it's like a rest and it's not just your creativity as well, aside from the technical programming part. So this website will be one of my projects. So I'm looking forward to moving to the next lessons and complete this website until it's working. Thank you.